Welcome back to a new episode of Coaching Board. Today's episode is about pressing, particularly counter-pressing. Now, it's important before we start that we all understand the differences between pressing and counter-pressing. The other word for counter-pressing is Gegenpressing, a German word. I've probably just butchered the pronunciation of that, but if you want to check it out for yourselves, you can find it. Also below, before I start, I'm going to put a few links below in the description to articles that kind of explain each point a little bit more. So the purpose of today's video is to give you like a little headline, a little bite-size bit of content, so you can go away and make you aware of certain things that you might not be aware of or things you might have forgot about. Counter-pressing is when your team has the ball, loses the ball, and then tries to win the ball back immediately, preferably within the first 5-6 seconds. Now, over in England, this started to become popular back in 2010, I would say, when Guardiola's Barcelona started to dominate in Europe. Obviously, it's been around for longer than 2010. I think there's a few examples of in the 70s when Holland used a very aggressive, the 1974 Dutch side used a very aggressive counter-pressing. So a few things that is important when we're talking about pressing. You need players that are fit, players that are tactically aware, and a good game plan to execute the pressing. So in this video, I wanted to talk through a few specific types of pressing that you might not be aware of. Certainly what I've found in youth football, in amateur, semi-professional and even professional environments, I see a lot of people talking about pressing and trying to coach pressing, but it's in a more general term under the umbrella of pressing. But what you can see when you look at certain different coaches, you look at Jurgen Klopp, how his team press compared to Guardiola's pressing, very, very different. And then likewise, if you have a look at Marcelo Bielsa's pressing in sort of Leeds, and then if you go back earlier to Bilbao and Chile national team, you'll see again a very, very different style of pressing. Germany has been popular for quite a while, and again there's a big difference between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. I'm not going to go into it too much. Like I said, I'll put a few links below, so if you want, you can have a little read up on that. So without further ado, let's go into some specific styles of counter-pressing. So you've got pressing as the general term, then you've got counter-pressing, which is when you just lose the ball, trying to win it back as quick as possible. Then underneath that, you've then got a sort of more man-to-man style pressing versus a zonal pressing. And I would say the majority of these come under a zonal counter pressing. First one is leeway oriented pressing or counter pressing. So with this one, it's basically the team who have just lost the ball is going to go and swarm the player with the ball and the surrounding players, basically not giving them any room to breathe. So they'll be cutting off passing lanes and space, and obviously the player with the ball. That's leeway oriented. A popular team for that, Borussia Dortmund. Next one, access oriented. In this one, the ball carrier isn't pressed by every single player. It's normally one or two players, and the closest players will then go and put the ball carrier under pressure. The other players around it, so you'll have the two players that'll go to the man with the ball, the closest players, and then the supporting players around that, they'll then go and they're not in fixed positions, but they'll go and attach themselves to the nearest players, try and anticipate that pass into them. So that's more of a man coverage style defending. Passing lane, counter-pressing. This is the one that's been made popular by Pep Guardiola. So what they'll do is you'll have immediate pressure on the ball, and then you'll have the surrounding players cutting off the actual passing lanes into the attacking players, hoping to force the player with the ball to make a pass into an area that his team is ready to pounce on and counter-attack basically. And then the last one is ball oriented. This one was made famous in 1974 by the Dutch team. You can see some old YouTube videos on this, and I also think Arrigo Sacchi's AC Milan team used to do this quite aggressively as well. So that's basically wherever the ball is, then the players are going to. It's a bit more erratic, a little bit more loose. So there's an example, like a basic headline overview of 4 different types of counter pressing: lane, ball, high pressure on the player and the surrounding players, and the last one is ball oriented.